U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order freezing financial aid to South Africa. Trump said this was because of South Africa's new land law, which he says is racist and violating people's rights, and also because of its international court case accusing Israel of genocide. It escalates a dispute between the two countries after Trump threatened to cut funding, without citing evidence, that South Africa is confiscating land and certain classes of people were being treated very badly. The South African government condemned it as a campaign of misinformation and propaganda aimed at misrepresenting our great nation. The move fails to recognize South Africa's profound and painful history of colonialism and apartheid. A statement from the country's Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation said. Trump's close advisor Elon Musk, who was born in South Africa, also joined in the criticism, asking on X why President Cyril Ramaphosa had openly racist ownership laws. Ramaphosa has not responded, but previously defended South Africa's land policy. He said the government had not confiscated any land, and the policy was aimed at ensuring equitable public access to land. The new law was signed last month and allows land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. Land ownership has long been a contentious issue in South Africa, with most private farmland owned by whites, even 30 years after the end of apartheid. There have been continuous calls for the government to address past injustices of racial segregation. South Africa's new law allows for expropriation when there is no intention to either develop or make money from it, or when it poses a risk to people. The order said the U.S. cannot support the government of South Africa's commission of rights violations in its country, and as long as it continues these unjust and immoral practices. The White House said Washington will also formulate a plan to resettle South African farmers and their families as refugees. It said U.S. officials will take steps to prioritize humanitarian relief, including admission and resettlement for white South Africans, who are mostly descendants of Dutch and English settlers. The executive order also references South Africa's role in bringing accusations of genocide against Israel before the International Court of Justice. On Sunday, Trump wrote on his social media platform Truth Social, "I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed." He later said in a briefing with journalists that South Africa's leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. But on Monday, Ramaphosa moved to defuse the row with Trump's new U.S. administration over the new land law by speaking to Musk on the phone. Ramaphosa's office said, in that call to Musk, the president reiterated South Africa's constitutionally embedded values of the respect for the rule of law, justice, fairness, and equality.